could it be argued based on 1 Peter that a day could mean 1,000 years? We're told uh, we are told not to be ignorant of this fact. Um, Maybe I'm missing that, so I'm going to skip to the next one. Okay, this is from Randall. Doug, if two people are in covenant and married, will they remain married in the millennium? There's a situation in the New Testament where the Sadducees asked Yeshua about a woman being married multiple times. Well, yeah, based on that, so the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection. They were trying to trick Jesus, to trap him, and say there was this woman who was married, her husband died, and then because of the Levirate law, where the next of kin, the brother, is supposed to marry this woman, he married her, he died. And the next brother, until all 7 brothers married her. So whose wife is she going to be in the age to come? And Jesus very adeptly answers that you don't understand really much of anything here. You don't understand the power of God, and you don't understand the age to come. So let's just pull up that passage, and let's see here. I'm kind of blanking on where that is, but let's see. Let me just look it up really quick. Okay, so Luke 20:29, there we go. So, teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children. The second took her as his wife, and he died childless, and the third took her, and in like manner the 7. Also, they left no children and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife. Again, this is Luke 20, starting at verse 29. Jesus answered and said to them, the sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. All right, so that's it, right? Yeah, in this age, if you want to have kids, better do it now, right? Because you're not going to be doing it in the age to come. The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. But those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. So if you have a wonderful marriage today, praise the Lord, right? Enjoy it. If you have a lousy marriage, you're not going to be bound forever. Okay, so either way, this is the time to be married. This is the time to enjoy your marriage. To have your children is in this age. In the age to come, those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead. That's very important that he said, and the resurrection from the dead, because we're told in Isaiah chapter 65 that people will be having kids. All right, we'll go to that in just a moment. But let's continue on here in Luke 20, verse 36. Nor can they die anymore, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. All right, so those people who will not be getting married anymore, why won't they be getting married? Because they won't die. Why won't they die? Because they will be equal to the angels and they're sons of God. They're not angels. You don't turn into an angel, but you have the same composition as an angel. And so there will not be any kid rearing in that age. But we also see in Isaiah 65, there we're told that God says in verse 20, 65:20, no more shall an infant from there live but a few days, nor an old man who has not fulfilled his days, for the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So death is still possible. Babies are still going to be had, okay? It says they shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They shall not build another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree, so shall be the days of my people. And my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth children for trouble. For they shall be the descendants of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. It shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are still speaking, I will hear. Okay, and we're told that the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, the lion shall eat straw like the ox, and dust shall be the serpent's food. All right, and based on this concept, we're told that a little child shall put his hand in the viper's den. Right, the nursing child shall play by the cobra's hole. We also see that in this is Isaiah chapter 11. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, etc., and the little child shall lead them. So they're going to be little kids in the age to come. Now, part of the trouble is understanding the concept of the millennium. The millennium is a period of time. It's called the millennium. It's a term that we came up with, but it is a time of 1,000 years. We see that number repeated 6 times in Revelation chapter 20. And I've debated people who don't believe in a millennium. They say, oh, that's just a figurative time. I don't know. When you say a number 6 times, I'm likely to believe the number. And I just don't see where numbers in the Bible are not taken as literal numbers. So they say, well, God's the God of a cattle of 1,000 hills. Well, he is, right? It doesn't say that he's not also the God of the cattle on 10,000 hills, right? But he is indeed the God of the cattle on 1,000 hills. That's a very true statement to 1,000. It doesn't say 1,000 and only 1,000, right? It doesn't say that. It just says he's a God of the cattle on 1,000 hills, and that's a true statement. So, so there will be children that will be born during this time, and we then turn to Revelation 22. In Revelation 22, it says, he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was a tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Wow. So there's going to be this tree, the tree of life. It's on either side. So it's maybe one tree with an interconnected root system, possibly. But in any event, the tree of life will be there. It's on both sides of the river. And the leaves are for the healing of the nations. That's echoed in Ezekiel 47. And the leaves will be for medicine for the nations. Okay, so the leaves will be for medicine for the nations. Well, who needs medicine? Who needs to be healed? The nations apparently do. This is why they need to take the tree of life, because they're not healed, which would suggest that death is still possible, which is what we just read in Isaiah chapter 65. Death is still possible. So there's going to be really 3 groups of people when Jesus comes back. There'll be those who took the mark. They're toast. Okay, they're gone. They're going to join Satan in his destiny, which is the lake of fire. We have those who are firm believers in Jesus in Revelation chapter 12, those who keep the commandments and the testimony of Jesus Christ, right? Those two who keep the commandments and the testimony of Jesus Christ, those people will get their new bodies. As far as I can tell, they will be the people who will be in the resurrection, right? So either they'll be transformed, but they'll not precede those who were asleep. So those who are asleep in the Lord and those who will be transformed at the Lord's return. So they'll get their new bodies. They will be those people who were counted worthy to attain to that age and the resurrection of the dead that Jesus was talking about in Luke chapter 20. And then there's one more group of people, and this will be a group of people who are to some degree righteous. They're not perfect, okay, but they don't have the testimony of Jesus. Right, so they're kind of the Romans chapter 2 people who don't have the Torah, they don't have the testimony of Jesus, but they do the things that are required in the Torah so that it becomes a Torah unto itself. And these people will then get to enter into the millennium age as flesh and blood. They will have babies, and then those babies will have babies, etc. And then there will be this final rebellion. We see that in Revelation chapter 20. So after the 1,000 years, we see that Satan has been put into the abyss For 1,000 years, he's been bound in that place. And it says, and he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal on him so that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years were finished. But after these things, he must be released for a little while. I've calculated it to be 1 year. I won't get into that now. So he's going to come back, and it says in verse 7, now when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand of the sea. They went up on the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. Wow. So here you have it. We're going to have lots and lots of people who are still flesh and blood, who for some reason are going to refuse to enjoy the beauty and the bounty of what God has for them. We're told in Revelation 22 concerning those who are outside the gates. It says, blessed are those who do his commandments. Another version says those who wash their garments, either way, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. That's Revelation 22:14. So again, people will be mortal. The way that they transform from being mortal to being immortal, from having that mortal fleshly body to getting that body that is analogous to the angels, is they have to take of the river of life per Zechariah chapter 13 verse 1, and Ezekiel chapter 47, Revelation 22. And so they take of the river of life, and then they'll have the right to take of the tree of life. And when they do, they'll be transformed. They will be transformed. They'll get their new body. And it says, and they may enter through the gates into the city. But notice who's outside the gates. But outside are dogs and sorcerers and sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters and whoever loves and practices a lie. So there will still be people outside the New Jerusalem who, for some reason, will say, I don't want to take that. I don't want to be part of it. By the way, all this is going to be put into the movie trilogy that I am making. So please keep that in prayer. I really do appreciate that. But all these details are amazing, and I'm going to squeeze them in one way or the other. So with that, guys, I'm going to have to stop. It's been a lot of fun. My battery is wearing out here, so my battery. Keep your questions till next time. I'm going to really just keep taking lots and lots of questions. They're a lot of fun, and we can carry this on next time. If you want me to answer your question early, I would encourage you to get on to this session early, and so make sure that you have subscribed, you've clicked on the button, and as soon as you see that come on, make sure to get your question in there, and I'll answer it in the order that it comes in. So it's been a lot of fun. I wish I could take all the questions, but I'm just running out of energy here. So God bless you guys. It's been a lot of fun, and stay in the Word. Remember, we're having a conference this July, so if you could come and join us, it'd be wonderful. oneinmessiahconvocation.com. You can get all the information there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So God bless you. Until next time, God bless.